What's going on, Giants fans? You're watching New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. And in today's show, we're going through a mailbag which first aired on our live show on Wednesday, 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. Every single week, join the party, hit that big red button, make sure you're there, because look, we're only taking questions from our subscribers. So go down right now, hit that big red button, and help us get to 10,000 subscribers. This first one rolling in from Sean. Who would you rather have calling offensive plays, Mike Kafta or Brian Daboll? This is a great question. I appreciate you, Sean. Through OTAs, Mike Kafta has been the one calling the plays. But if I had to choose who I wanted to be the offensive coordinator for the Giants in 2022, I would want it to be Brian Daboll, because he got the job as the Giants offensive coordinator for what he did as an offensive coordinator with the Buffalo Bills, for how he was able to get the most out of a guy like Josh Allen, how he was able to make that Buffalo Bills offense one of the best, if not the best, in the NFL. I want someone that's experienced, that's been there in the big games of the AFC Conference Championship, in overtime, and the last drive of the game, having to go out down and score. Brian Daboll has done that. Not saying Mike Kafta can't. He can, I believe. He's learned from Andy Reid, one of the best offensive coaches in NFL history. But I want someone that's been in the fire when the bullets are flying. So give me Daboll, but I do think Kafka's going to be a damn good offensive coordinator if he ends up calling the plays for the Giants. Ricky Ricardo, what's going on, fam? Who had the most sacks in Wink's defense? That's a great question, and I think someone else also asked a very similar question. So I'm glad we got to answer that. Whoville Cash asked a similar question. Who will have the most sacks in Wink's defense? I think it's going to be Kayvon Thibodeau in his rookie year. I really do. And right behind him, I think is going to be Azeez Ojulari. And I wouldn't be surprised if Ojulari is the guy that ends up leading the Giants in sacks this year. He had 8 sacks last year as a rookie. Shoot, it could be Leonard Williams. The thing that's awesome about Martinsdale's defense is he's going to scheme up open blitzes and free rushes and sacks. You're not going to have to beat your guy every single time to get a sack. You're going to be able to come off the line, come untouched, and it's like, oh shit, I'm in the backfield untouched and I get a sack. Sometimes it's going to be that easy. Is it going to result in the Giants getting burnt sometimes because they bring too many in blitz and too many rushers in blitz situations? Sure. But the thing I love about Wink Martindale is he's going to make the offense adjust to the defense. He's not going to sit back on his hands and have to adjust and, call the plays based on what the offense is doing. No, he's going to set the tone. He's going to dictate the pace, and I love that about him. Whether it's Ojulari, Williams, or Thibodeau, I think one of them is going to go for double-digit sacks. Give me Thibodeau, though. I appreciate the question, bro. Don't Stop 10. Did you see the stat projections for Daniel Jones from Bleacher Report? Yikes. Yeah, that was something, right? I mean, that was some of the most disrespectful stuff I've ever seen. And not because I think Daniel Jones is going to be some Hall of Famer or anything like that, but the fact that they had Daniel Jones only throwing 14 touchdowns in this season, I think that's kind of an indictment on Brian Daboll. If you're telling me that Daboll can only scheme up 14 touchdowns for Daniel Jones and the 2022 NFL season, that tells me that you don't think he's that good of a football coach. Look, I don't think these stats are even that close. I mean, the completion percentage might be close. I think he's going to throw for more yards. I think he goes for at least 20 touchdowns. I like Daniel Jones as a player. I don't love him. He hasn't really given me any reason to love him. But the reason I still believe that he can be a solid quarterback in the NFL is from what I saw in his rookie year when Pat Shurmur was the head coach and his offensive coordinator. 24 touchdowns and 12 interceptions in 12 games. If he never did that, I wouldn't have any reason or anything to stand on to believe that he could be a good football player. But I've seen him do it before. So that's why I'm going to ride with Daniel Jones this year. And I'm going to say over 14 passing touchdowns for Daniel Jones. But I want you to weigh in the comment section right now, Giants fans, and let me know. Or a little game over and under. 14. We'll set the bar at 14. Will we throw for more touchdowns or less touchdowns? Type O for under, or you can go down in the comment section and type U for under. Also, I want to ask you guys to go down right now and hit that big red button. Because look, free videos every day throughout the NFL offseason. When June and July come rolling around and there's not a lot of stuff out there and all these Giants YouTube pages aren't posting content anymore, we still will be here, Giants Now by Chat Sports videos every single day. And look, it's 100% free, and we're probably the most interactive Giants YouTube channel out there. That's what we pride ourselves on. So go down right now, hit that big red button, help us get to 10,000 subscribers. Ben, what up, bro? Do you think we should sign Xavier Rhodes or Anthony Barr to a vet contract? Look, if either of those guys want to come over and sign one-year deals for veteran minimum deals, I'd love to have them both on the Giants. They're not as good of football players as they once were, but they are still solid, and they would come at positions of need for the Giants. The Giants could use another veteran backer like Anthony Barr. They also could use another veteran corner, excuse me, like Xavier Rhodes. I like what Xavier Rhodes did this past season for the Indianapolis Colts. 2 seasons ago, he wasn't that good. The year before that with the Vikings, he was really bad, but he kind of bounced back this year with the Colts. I liked what I saw. So I'd like to see him in this defense. I think Anthony Barr, kind of how he can play multiple positions in college. He was an edge rusher, then he transitioned to off-ball backer in the NFL. Could kind of be like kind of a hybrid role with the Giants in a Wink Martindale defense. So I'd like to see both those guys. If they can come out and get both of them, sure. But the only way that's going to happen is if they sign veteran minimum deals. Appreciate it, though, Ben. Mike, my guy. Besides this, Mike, is this super chat from Mike? What's up, Mike? We got some super thanks to get from you. We'll give you a shout out in a second, Mike. What up, bro? Besides the rookies, who on the defensive side would you expect to have a Pro Bowl type year? Go Big Blue, F the Cowgirls, and F the guy talking about the Titans. All right, besides the rookies, who on the defensive would you expect to have a Pro? What about Xavier McKinney? Is this the year that Xavier McKinney comes out and shows that he can be one of the best safeties in the NFL? I loved what I saw from McKinney last year. But in the defense this year, with a couple more dudes, a couple more studs, and more of a diverse scheme where I think it's going to unlock the skills that Xavier McKinney has, I think he could really take a step forward this year. He can play that single high. But we also know McKinney, he likes to hit. He's a physical player. He can come down inside the box, play that box safety. He's a do-it-all safety. If I had to bet on any player on the Giants to come out and have a good year, a better year than expected, give me Xavier McKinney. Appreciate it, Mike. Corey, should the Giants sign Ndamukong Suh? Woo! Yeah, I mean, shit. Does he want to come play for a one-year veteran minimum deal? Because that's what the Giants have been giving out all offseason long. The thing I will give Ndamukong Suh credit for is how dependable of a player he is, considering the fact that he's 36 years old. Suh has started in 191 of the 193 possible games in his NFL career. He's dependable, and the dude's a freaking menace, man. He's not someone that you want to block. He'd be a good piece on this team. Anytime you can add someone on the interior defensive line that carries the type of just swag and, toughness and mentality that he brings, I'm down to add that to my football team. Could you imagine a three-man defensive front of Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence, and Ndamukong Suh with the outside linebackers of Kayvon Thibodeau and Azeez Ojulari? That would be one of the best front fives on the defensive side of the football in the NFL. But it all comes down to dollars. Does Ndamukong Suh want to come and play for a one-year veteran minimum type deal? Maybe lace it with incentives. So if he plays all the games, or if he reaches certain milestones with some stats, he would get more money, then yes, I'd love to see him come play and wear Giants blue. He's going to be a Hall of Famer, and I'd love to see it for the Giants because he would make the Giants better now. And he could also mentor some guys on this team, like Azeez Ojulari, like Dexter Lawrence, like Kayvon Thibodeau. I think it'd be a win-win if you went and signed Suh, but at the end of the day, it comes down to him and how much he wants to get paid. And I have a feeling it's a little bit more than the 1 year, $1.2 or $2 million that the Giants could offer him. But I'll leave it up to you, Giants fans. Type S for sign, type P for pass. I also want to tell you guys about a new feature on YouTube called Super Thanks. If you're not able to join live shows, I understand. They're in the middle of the day sometimes, and some people work. I know it's crazy. But look, you can also support outside of just super chatting on live shows, and you can do that by super thanking. It's the heart icon with the money sign in the middle right underneath me. You can click on it, send a note donation, and you could type in a message. And every super thanks, we're going to put it up on screen and give them a shout out on screen. Just like my guy John, Olson, Michael, and Mike. Mike, who just super chatted a couple of seconds ago, sent in 2 super thanks a couple of shows ago, and I love this one so much. He said, I think the Cow, because I asked, who do you think is going to win the NFC East? And he said, I think the Cowgirls win the division, unfortunately, but F them girls, go big blue, fire sign, prayers, and hearts. That's right, Mike. Go big blue. I like that. So if you hate the Dallas Cowboys like I do, like Mike does, go down in the comments section and just type F Dallas for me. Mike, I appreciate the super chat, and I appreciate the 2 super thanks earlier this week. Last question, Big Who. Do you think they will be the dark horse in our division? Do you think they will be? Are you asking they as in the Giants? Yeah, if a sleeper team were to win the NFC East, I do think it was us. The Eagles right now are getting a lot of buzz. After they picked up James Bradbury and A.J. Brown and the good moves they made in the draft by selecting Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean, the Eagles are the sexy pick right now to win the NFC East. And a lot of people like the Cowboys as well because they have Dakota Prescott, the best quarterback in the division, blah, blah, blah. But look, if there was a dark horse to win the NFC East, I think it's the Giants over the football team. I think we're a better football team from 1 to 53, no doubt about it. So if I had to say yes, Big Who, I for sure think the Giants, if there were to be a dark horse to win it, it'd be us. Like my guy Mike said in his super thanks, he said he hates the Cowboys. F them girls. But I'll leave it up to you, Giants fans. I want you to spam the comment section. Type F Dallas if you hate the Cowboys, and I'll see you next time on the next New York Giants Now.